What's up guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I want to take a look at Mountaintop. With all the talk about this weapon recently, I want to go over why you should really only need one roll for this weapon in almost all use case scenarios. The main scenarios I do want to mention in this video are going to be ad clear, boss DPS, and minor DPS. Or you're just beefy, low health targets. So let's go on and walk through each column of this weapon. So in the first column, for almost all scenarios, you're just going to be looking at hard launch. This is because this perk brings down your overall blast radius, which is good because it increases your damage by about 4%, and the blast radius fall off is almost unnoticeable. If you guys didn't already know, special grenade launchers, lowering your blast radius actually slightly increases your damage, so it's really good to get hard launch on your weapon because it brings down your blast radius. In the second column, we're going to be looking for two choices, either spike or impulse grenades. Now impulse is technically better because it lowers your blast radius, and in turn increasing your damage, but it's almost barely different from spike grenades, as spike grenades just flat out increases your impact damage on grenade launchers. It's only about a 0.05% increase in damage. It's so unnoticeable that it doesn't matter. So we're just going to go straight into the third column. Now with the third column, we're going to be looking for two perks, either auto-loading holster or impulse grenades. Now for ad clear and taking down those higher health targets in majors, impulse amplifier is going to be your best bet. Giving a 35% increase to velocity and 20 reload, this perk makes reloading this thing feel so good and allows you to get lots of shots in really quickly. It's obviously good for ad clear, but also minors, because most of the time in high incoming content, especially like Legend Onslaught, one shot of the Mountaintop just isn't going to one-shot enemies, even with 10 stacks of recombination. So it means that you're going to have to reload and to get a second shot off, and Impulse Amplifier just makes this shot even faster. Now here's where things get tricky, especially for boss DPS. Now for Impulse Amplifier, it can be really good, especially something with like the OG Anarchy Mountaintop loadout for boss DPS. It actually isn't bad. I'll throw it up on screen here. But you're actually going to want to be shooting this thing. And in boss DPS scenarios, it's actually not bad to run Impulse Amplifier, and I've been using it on a lot of my bait and switch DPS rotations, and it feels almost just as fine as auto-loading holster. For quick swapping, auto-loading holster is definitely better, just with the bait and switch rotation. However, it is important to note that one rotation in a DPS phase, especially if it's really short, is the best you can do, and you're only going to be really able to shoot off one shot at Mountaintop, so in this case, Amplifier is actually fine. Now in the right column, this is pretty easy. There's only really one perk that just completely outclasses all the other perks, and this is Recombination. This weapon perk states that when you get 10 kills with another weapon, it boosts your damage by 1,000%. No, not 1,000, it's 100%. But it's actually on par with an uncharged shot of Parasite, which is pretty crazy. Even in a boss DPS phase, bait and switch rotations usually only happen a max of like 3 times. So if you do the math, even with multiple weapon, one charge shot and another charge shot of recombination is actually more damage than just 2 Vorpal weapon shots, so it makes it really easy choice, especially in DPS rotation. Obviously, setup isn't going to be as easy, but honestly, before the activity, you're going to be killing stuff, and Vorpal weapon isn't always going to be working, especially on minors, so it's just a straight out better choice. Now for your masterwork, I do want to mention that it does actually quite matter, because if you get a blast radius masterwork on a 5 out of 5 God Roll, you're not going to want it to masterwork at all, because if you do, you're lowering your total damage, which does suck. So for this, I'm just going to be looking for either reload speed or handling, just for those bait and switch rotations. Velocity is already absolutely insane on this weapon, but you can roll it if you want to. With that guys, I'm going to throw up on screen what I think is the absolute God Roll of this weapon. Hard launch, impulse rounds, impulse amplifier, and recombination with a reload speed masterwork and boss spec. With that, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.